The previous session where we were discussed about inner classes in Java. Inner classes are also called it as a nested classes. That is the class declared inside the class or interface. The class declared inside the class or interface. Two types we have. One is static inner class and the other one is non-static inner class. First, we were discussing about non-static inner classes. In that, again, three types we have: member inner class, anonymous inner class, local inner class. In the previous session, we have discussed about member inner class, anonymous inner class. Now we have to discuss about local inner class. We have to discuss about local inner class. So first, I'll revise what is member inner class, what is meant by anonymous inner class. Member inner class, in a sense, we are going to be write one class within another class. We are going to be write one class within another class. We are going to write one class within another class outside of a method and inside a class. That is called as this one. So we are going to be write this. See, I have written the method 1, method 2, and I have created the inner class here. And by creating the object of outer class, I can able to access only the methods of outer class. If by using this, if we are creating the inner class object with the reference of outer class object, we can able to access the inner class methods as well. That example we have discussed in the previous session. Next, coming to the anonymous inner class, a class we have created within the another class without having the name. Anonymous inner class, in a sense, it does not have any name. It does not have any name. So that is what we have taken here. This is one name where we have taken some methods. And by creating the object of this particular class itself, here we have created the object. By using that object, we have access the methods. Next concept we'll see local inner class. The third one, local inner class. Local inner class is nothing but local inner class. Local inner class. A class we have written within a method of another class. A class we have written within a method of inner class. A class created inside a method is called local inner class. Local inner class in Java. Local inner class in Java. See, they are defined inside a block. They are defined inside a block. Inside a method, inside a block, it has been defined. See, sometimes the block is the method body as well. Method body as well. See, if the block can be a for loop or if clause anything, local inner classes are not a member of any enclosing classes. They belong to the block they are defined within. Due to local inner classes cannot have any access to the modifiers associated with them. We'll see the example of that. How we can able to write this local inner class. We are saying that local inner class is a class we were writing. Local inner class is a class we were writing inside the method. Outer class A1, outer class A1. So here itself, I'm taking the main method. This is a method I have taken. Now see here, void method 1. There's a method implementation in the class. Method 1 implementation in the outer class A1. Member implementation in the outer class A1. See, we are saying one class has to be right within the other class. One class has to be right within the other class. Now, we will be getting the same class, inner class A1, inner class A1, required class method 1. We'll see. So here, inner class method 1 implementation. For this particular class, I'm creating the object. Where I have to create the object? Where I have to create the object? Outside of this particular class. This is a class. Outside of this class, I'm creating the object. ICA is the object name. Is the object name. Now we are going to be call this ICA dot object inner class. First we'll create the object of outer class. In the main class, we'll create the object OCA is OBJ. OBJ dot method 1 I'm accessing here. Method 1 I'm accessing here. Now after creating the object ACA dot, it is not supporting. Right? Simple logic we have missed here. See, class name. There will be no parenthesis. It is not a method, right? It is not a method. That is a class. We are not supposed to use the parenthesis. Simple logic we missed. See now, for this particular outer class, A, for this particular class outer class A, I have written one method. So this is my method. This is my method. In this method, we have written one class. We have written one class, that is local inner class, and then we have created the object and we are accessing that particular method. It means, see, local inner class is nothing but, the class we are going to be write within the method of, see, we'll be having one class, in that we'll be having one method. Within the method, if I'm writing any class, that class is called as method inner class. That we'll see. Local inner class. That is local inner class. First, it is going to be called the outer class method. In the outer class method, first, whatever the statement we are having, it is going to be get printed. And then we are creating the object for inner class. With the help of inner class object, it is going to be access the inner class method. So then inner class method implementation also we are getting. That is local inner class. Local inner class. Local inner class innocence. Again, I'll explain briefly. A class created inside a class is called as local inner class. So within a method of one class, we are going to be create one class. That class is called as local inner class. Now, outer is a class, and here method 1 we have. Within the method 1, we are writing one class. Within the method 1, we are writing one class. So for that class, we are creating the object. For that class, we are creating the object. Okay. Now, by creating the object to the outer class, we are accessing the method 1. When we are accessing the method 1, it is going to be called this statement first. It is going to be called this particular statement first. And then this is a class. It is not going to be called for execution until we are going to be create the object for it. See, now if I am not creating any object for this inner class, if I am trying to execute, if I am trying to execute method 1 implementation in the outer class A1, method 1 implementation in the outer class A1. See, even though we are writing the class inside a method, if for that particular class, if I'm not writing any object, and if I'm not calling that particular method, whatever we have inside the inner class, it is not going to be execute. Got it? This is method inner class. Sorry, local inner class. And one more we have here is the next topic, static class. Static class, static method, and all we have to discuss. Static class. Okay. Static demo 1. Static demo 1. I'll be taking this just a class public static the public static void static method 1 static method 1 implementation. See, before the method, so this is a method name. This is a method name. Before this method name, we are using the return type void. Before this method name, we are using the return type void. Before that, we have static keyword. Static keyword. Because of that, we'll call this is a static method. Because of that, we'll call this is a static method. See, now I'll write void method 2. Method 2 is a normal method. Method 2 implementation. Now, see here, I'll be writing one more class. Static demo. Here itself, I'm taking the public static void main. HP object. HP object 1. See, static method, we are going to be call for execution. And then normal method also, we are going to be call for execution. Static method 1, implementation, and this one. See, when we are creating parent and child relationship, we are accessing. We are accessing. Okay. So this is when we are creating object to the class. When we are creating object to the class. See, I'm not calling this method. Just I'm created the object to the class. It is not going to be called. Okay. See here, static inner class, how it will works. Static outer class A, we are taking static int a, that is initialized as 10. This is what we can say as static variable. This is static variable. Within this class, I'm writing a method called as static void method 1. Static void method 1. Correct. We have to write the class static inner class. Static class inner class A. Inner class A. Void displays a method static inner class method implementation. See, static inner class method implementation. Now, if I am creating the object to the outer class, object to the outer class, object to the outer class, we cannot able to call this for execution. It means I can say like static methods we cannot able to access, sorry, non-static members we cannot able to access into the static class. Here I'll write one method void method 1, which is non-static method class. Non-static method in a class. This is a non-static method in a class. See here, non-static. So why we are going to be say this is a non-static method class? We are not writing static as a keyword prefix to this method. Non-static method implementation. Non-static method implementation. See, now when we are creating the object, here, SOBJ1, I can able to access method 1. I cannot able to access the method 2. That is a display method. So I cannot able to access the display method over here because that is a inner class one. If I want to access that, I have to create inner class object. See, it is showing the suggestion here, inner class A. So now inner class object, new outer class dot inner class. This is syntax. See, if here we are creating the object for outer class, creating object for outer class, and calling outer class method 1. And now here creating object to the inner class, creating object to the inner static inner class. Now, what are the methods we can able to access here? Inner object dot only display method I can able to access here. Other than display method, here we have void method as well. So that method we can able to access or not, we'll see. Inner object we cannot able to access. So if I'm writing within the inner class or static void show method, static inner class method, static method implementation. static inner class, static method implementation. Now here inner object, see, we will be getting show here. This is a static. See, this is a static method. This is a static method in the static class. Static method in the static class. So how we are going to be recognize that it is a static method? How we are going to be recognized? We'll be having with the prefix static. We'll be having with the prefix static. So we are going to be access that. This output. Any doubt in this? Next class. Next topic. Accepting input dynamically. Accepting input dynamically. There will be two ways for accepting input dynamically. Already we are in practicing of using scanner class. Next thing we have to read is buffer reader. Next thing we have to know about is buffer reader. So for that we will see how we are going to be accept the input by using the buffer reader, and that example we'll see. Public static void main. So in the main class itself, I'll write for accepting the input buffer reader. BR is the object. That is our choice. What the object we are taking is our choice. Now I have taken BR here. New for reader. New input stream reader. Dot in. Okay. So here we need two packages. One is java.io package, which is related to the buffer reader, and the other one is the package we required related to input stream reader. So I have taken even that as well. See, for buffer reader, we want the package, this one, java.io. It is this the Java package. We have input output related package. Input output related package, that is IO package. Within that IO package, buffer reader we have. Within that IO, we have input stream reader. So I have taken that. Now see here, system.out.println. I'll be declaring two numbers. Let me consider int n1, int correct, and two numbers I need to accept. See, enter two numbers, two integer numbers, enter two integer numbers, n1. So previously, if it is a scanner class sc.nextInt, we are going to be using sc.nextInt we are going to be using. But here we have to do the conversion. Here dot read line, here dot read line, which is going to be read string. By default, it is going to be read string. So that we have to convert into integer. For that, integer dot parse so to convert integer, see, we want to throw the declaration. What is this throws? We'll talk about later. The next topic, exception handling, we are going to be discussed. According that. Because of that only, I didn't discuss buffer reader concept till now. Because of that only, I didn't discuss buffer reader concept till now. See, throws IO exception, number format exception, IO exception. That is input output exception. Exception is nothing but runtime error. So why we have to throw that? We'll discuss it. So exception handling. What is exception handling? To handle the exception, what are the keywords we have? 5 keywords we have. Each one we are going to be discussed. Okay. See, tr dot read line, which is going to be read the string by default. Br dot read line. Read line is a method which is used for reading the string by default. That we have to convert into parsing. Now, see, if the string has to convert into integer, integer.parseInt. Br dot read line, we have to convert that into integer, integer.parseInt. N2, so here also was br dot read line, integer.parseInt. We are converting the string into this one. Now I am going to be declare one variable sum. Will be accepting. Br.readline is going to be read the string, and that we have converted into integer. For conversion string into integer, integer.parseInt we have to use. To convert a string to the integer, we have to convert into if you want to convert string into integer, we have to use integer.parseInt. While we are taking the string, that should be numerals, then only it can able to convert into integer. Otherwise, it cannot able to convert into integer. The same way, if I want to convert the string into floating point values, let me consider that is a float or double. I'll consider double num1, num2, add this variable we have taken. So now enter two floating point value. Enter two floating point values. See here, num1 br dot read line, which is used for reading the string, and double dot parse double. Double dot parse double. See here, as it is a case sensitive language, D in double D is a capital letter. In parse, P is a small letter. Num2 parse double br dot read line. We are going to be take the double value and we are going to be perform the addition. Not only addition, any task what we would like to perform, we can able to accept that. We can able to accept that, and we can perform it. So addition. First, it is asking two integer numbers. I'm entering double values. And now I have to enter the floating point value. Got it. Like this, we can use the buffer reader concept. Any doubt in this? Remaining things we'll discuss in the next session.